Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're just going to give a quick update on the news that caused this big pump and why it sold off. It was a beautiful liquidity sweep. I added this liquidity bar up here based on liquidation levels, and you can see we perfectly swept that, came back down. I will be going on vacation for about a week, so I'll try to make some videos from my phone. It won't be my same setup with my camera and all that stuff. I won't have my computer, obviously. I'll be on vacation, so I'll try to get some videos out, but just wanted to give a quick update before I leave. Got a flight here in a little bit here, so let's go. Big pump, and this was based on some news. We'll talk about what news it is here. The Fed had some crypto summit that they were talking about. A bunch of people were talking about all sorts of different things with crypto. Federal Reserve proposal for payment accounts to boost crypto and fintech access. During open remarks at the Federal Reserve Payment Innovation Conference, Governor Christopher Waller announced that the Fed is exploring a new framework for payment accounts, a limited version of traditional master accounts. This skinny master account would grant direct access to the Fed's payment rails, such as FedNow, ACH, wire transfers, basically allowing you to easily move money from your bank to crypto exchanges. This is really difficult to do right now, and that's why there's only a few crypto exchanges that have fiat on and off ramps, fiat being, US dollar or whatever your native currency is, to eligible non-bank institutions, including crypto firms, stablecoin issuers, and fintech payment innovators. So this will allow easier payments and stuff too. So without requiring a full banking charter or intermediary banks. I can't talk this morning. Waller emphasized that distributed ledgers and crypto are increasingly being woven into the fabric of the payment and financial systems and are no longer on the fringes, signaling a major shift towards integrating digital assets into mainstream finance. So this was really good news, and the markets reacted very well with this massive pump. I closed a lot of my long here and I opened a short here because there's also a lot of liquidity, and I figured market makers like Binance and some of the other ones would start dumping. And sure enough, right before noon, you can see this is noon right here, when we hit this top, and you can see here from different exchanges to Wintermute, bullish.com, Binance. This is 7 million, 4 million, 4 million. This is just in a couple minutes. They moved whatever, $20 million of Ethereum to dump on the open market. Bitcoin, this was 20 million, 10 million, there's 30 million, Kraken dumped a little bit, but Binance has just been continually suppressing the price. Here you go. Here's another, this is just 40 minutes later, another 20, $30 million of crypto. Here's 20 million Bitcoin. Here is 4 million Ethereum and like almost 2 million Solana. Continually dumping. Some of the other market makers are doing it. The whole point of a market maker is to allow people to buy by putting sell orders, and allow people to sell by putting buy orders, right? That is a normal thing for a market maker. But the not normal thing is, pushing it perfectly into this area to liquidate all these longs. Again, if I go to the liquidity heat map, I put these before the day was there. I put these down there, these lines in the sand where I think the price would normally go to, and you can see in the last 24 hours, if this ever loads, a little slow today. Hello. Okay. Anyways, there was liquidity up in this area, liquidity down here. You can see we came down and swept this almost identically. A lot of people, it looks like front ran this. So it didn't fully clear the liquidity, or maybe just the exchange I'm on had a slightly different price than Binance using this little cheat sheet here, which is now apparently not working. 48 hours. Okay, it looks like CoinGlass is down right now, so I can't show you that. But I just talk about the liquidity levels a lot. I have an app that you can do this right on your phone, but also you just go to CoinGlass, look at the liquidity heat map, and you can put these lines in the sand here. It's a great place to get entries. You can see, look at this. If you would have front ran your entry a little bit in terms of price, you'd have a beautiful 1.7% pump in like an hour, right? So on the 5 minute, you can see a huge reaction. This is like a little bit of a liquidation cascade here that pushes the price down, and then the price basically just instantly returned right back to it. So this was 7 o'clock this morning, and if I had to guess, if I go on here and then go to 7 o'clock this morning, you can see some flushing right here. 7 o'clock. Was that 7 o'clock on the dot? Couldn't have been. 6:55, etc. So you can see right before that move, 6:40, a bunch of Bitcoin and Ethereum were moved from Binance to Wintermute and then sold to go down and liquidate those levels, right? So boom, quick flush, liquidate that, and then move back up. So I currently have a short that's open on Bitcoin from right up here at 113,900-ish. I put a short there. I closed a lot of my long. I'm still in a long from down at the very bottom of this wick down here. So if you do want to trade, I use Bitunix. It's my favorite exchange. I have an affiliate link below, and I really like these guys. They have a great exchange. You can buy spot there as well. You can, very cheap orders, and even cheaper if you use my affiliate link. You get a nice discount on fees for a while. But I'm in a short, I'm in a long, both in the profit. I have a Litecoin long that I'm just kind of holding. Litecoin has actually been holding up very well. So a lot of the altcoins dumped a lot. Even Ethereum, kind of trending a little bit more down, but Litecoin has been holding its own. So I'm going to keep this long open for a while. I'm thinking that this is kind of just showing us what's to come here, right? So this big pump is kind of just showing us what's, I think, going to happen. So a lot of times when you have big wicks like that, if I go to the 12 hour probably. Yeah, look at the wick on this. I put a little green mark saying this is the crypto conference coming, but look at the wick on this. Usually wicks get filled. So I have a feeling we're just kind of, trying to liquidate a couple more people, then we'll start moving up, because also the general markets are still, chilling at all-time highs. If you go to futures, CME futures for S&P 500 just hanging out at all-time highs. So I think we're going to start seeing some bigger moves, hopefully in the next couple days, if not by early November. We could kind of range here for a while. I see a lot of people on the timeline bearish. Another thing is we've been seeing on the FOMO finder the sentiment getting flushed as well, right? So usually when you see these big dumps, you'll see sentiment get flushed on here as well. And you'll see, basically get into panic. We've hit panic a couple times, honestly, recently here. So if I just kind of move this back in the last here, you can see the purple, which is full on panic here. A lot of it. That usually means we're going to see a move, because we've kind of just been ranging, and every little dip we get some panic, people shorting, people saying that the top is in. If we go to fear and greed as well, I'm sure we'll see something very similar. Yeah, extreme fear today. Usually extreme fear means it's a great buying opportunity. If we go over the last 3 months, you see we've been basically the most fearful we've been, and Bitcoin is only down, how much from the top here? If we go to the 3-day chart here, we're down, only 15-17% here. So nothing crazy. Ethereum, see how much we're down here. We're down about 25%. So, altcoins are decimated, definitely. But another thing is I was talking about this gold trade here, and it looks like it's playing out almost perfectly, right? I drew this line. I made a video when we were right at the very bottom. I made a video when we were right here, and it looked like a fake breakdown. And I said, I'm pretty sure that this is going to start going back up. Gold looks to be short-term topped, could definitely go higher, but I expected a big bounce from here. I do expect us to come back to the top of this trend. Hopefully we can break it. That'd be cool too. We could easily break this, and we have just a really nice channel going all the way back here. I don't know what happened to my channel. Where'd it go? My channel's gone. Did I delete my channel? What happened here? Okay. Anyways, we have this beautiful little channel. If you take a channel and you go from the top of this line right here, and you go through some of these here, and this perfectly lines up right about here. I didn't draw it perfect, but maybe it was to this one right here. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, we've been in this perfect channel since 2017. If you draw it like this, you can kind of move this up here a little bit, etc. But that's what we got going on. I think we're going to continue to bounce up a little bit. And I think this is going to continue to outperform gold over the next, couple months. But again, 4-year cycles are probably going to be ending sometime soon. Sorry, my throat's still scratchy from being sick. And yeah, this is going to be pretty much it for the video. I just want to make an update before I go on vacation. Litecoin, look at this, nothing, just no trend. A lot of the other ones are kind of doing something similar. Ethereum, I bet, is doing something kind of similar. A little bit of a looking like maybe it wants to test the bull market support band again. But we're kind of in like almost like a bull flag here after doing some big moves. You could definitely move this down a little bit, like right here. Best just been kind of hanging out in this bull flag. Bull market support band is moving up, so we'll see what happens. I think Sol is going to be another good performer here. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Again, if you liked it, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I think we're still going to be moving up. We might have a couple more days to kind of bottom. Another thing here is like the Bitcoin cycles are looking like we're going to try to find a, if we turn on the Camel Finance indicator, it's saying that we need to hit a cycle low in this kind of time frame by the end of the month. So, you know, it's looks pretty normal that we're kind of flushing and sentiment's getting quite bad. So I think we are going to see at least another big pump. I think we need to make a new range here. We've just been sweeping the highs, sweeping the highs, sweeping the highs repeatedly. I think we're going to come back up and make one final high, and then I think we're going to start going down to basically the 4-year bear market lows. So a lot of people are thinking the bear market's already here and we're moving down, but you know, as long as we're not closing below this red moving average, about 100K, I think we're still in a bull market, and I'm not going to change my thesis and my base case until we start closing below this red moving average, which is like the 350-day moving average. So that's it. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, use my affiliate links below if you want. It gives you a nice discount on fees, and it is the best way to support the channel. So have a great day. See you guys.